Good day, good evening, good morning, good whatever. Hope you're doing well. This was not supposed to be the subject of the video. And it's impromptu. I just sat here. It's because I saw some things today and yesterday that I think I wanted to address. And this comes with a, well, asterisk. You know, this comes with something that it's not for everyone. For example, we're going to talk about results, fast results, testosterone, TRT, all of that, SARMs, all of it. If you're 50 and over, 55, or you have like real issues, you're 60 something and you try to get fit again and you saw your doctor and your doctor told you, we need to get you on some testosterone, TRT, whatever, because of your levels that are currently too low. This is not me going after that. When there's a real reason for it in terms of health, it makes sense. As people who take GLP-1 for diabetes, people who take Ozempic for diabetes reasons, it makes sense. When you take it only to lose weight, it comes with some, problems. Full disclosure, when I'm 55, 50, 60, whenever, and I get to see my doctor and he's looking at me like, buddy, your testosterone level is like in deep crap. You need to do something about that. I will. I will most likely jump on TRT, done and prescribed by my doctor. But right now, I am 36 years old. I have been working out for the last 18 years. It's been 18 years of my life dedicated to eating as healthy as I can in the right amount of calories, in the right macros, doing, not drinking too much, not partying too much, working out every day or as much as I can. All of that, all of those 18 years to get me to here today in the physical appearance that I have, whatever that is. If it's your goal, awesome. If you want bigger, sure, but naturally, again, that's, that little thing. I've done all of this in the most natural way possible. Creatine, protein, chicken nuggets, basically. I'm built on chicken nuggets, by the way, if you did not know. I went to school. I was a broke-ass student, and I needed a lot of food and calories, and I ate a bunch of chicken nuggets. I needed protein, so I ate a bunch of chicken nuggets, and I built out, I'm probably 90% chicken nuggets. And it got me here, fortunately. One thing that I've done, not gonna lie, I don't know if it takes out my natty card. I still claim natty. I've had a shoulder injury in the last couple of years. Basically, I hit a car with my motorcycle. Actually, the car just jumped in front of me, and then I snapped into it in my motorcycle. My shoulder went into the car and it hurt a lot. So I took BPC 157, which is a peptide that helps with recovery. You can make some research on that. It's just peptide. I think it doesn't take out my natty card. Hopefully it doesn't. Otherwise, fully natural. A couple of years ago, 2 years ago, maybe, year and a half, I don't remember. I have a client who calls me, someone I did not know, who calls me and wants to become a client. He wants to train with me once a week, I believe. I had the gym at the time. So he wants to train with me once a week, and we go about his goals and everything. And he shows me pictures of him before the pandemic, before everything. And he was like jacked, fitter than I am. And I was like, dude, what's going on? Oh, I was on testosterone, I was on Anavar, I was on this, on that, on whatever. I don't know all the terms, I don't know all of what everything does. This is not what I do. I don't study that, I don't look at that, I help people get fit naturally. So we looked into it. I was like, sure, I can help you for sure. It's gonna take time, it's gonna take a minute, because obviously, since he had stopped everything, his testosterone level went to crap, because that's what happens when you stop all of this, and he lost all of the muscle mass, and he basically gained a lot of fat. We started working out, we started doing everything, looking at food, doing the workouts, trying to have him work out. And obviously like 2-3 weeks in, he's like, it's not going fast. I'm like, no, it's not. And it's normal. You're going to lose about a pound of fat a week, ideally if we can, when you do everything right. And you're going to maybe, hopefully, gain about 0.5 pounds of muscle a week, if we can, if you do everything. Well, I'd like it to go faster. Maybe I should jump up on testosterone and a bunch of stuff. And I said, well, no, I don't think so. Don't do that. And he kept coming back to that, and I was always saying like, let's not do that, let's just focus on what you have to do, go to the gym, do your work. But when you go from skinny to a superhero physique in the blink of an eye, because you start, taking testosterone and everything, obviously, you want that to happen again. Took me 18 years, but he did that in a couple of months, maybe 1 year. So obviously in his head, he's going to start again and everything will come back to normal. No, it's not how it works. Not when you do that naturally. So to end the story, he quit. He just stopped, right? So he did about a month, maybe 2. I think he did a month. And then I never saw him again, because I told him to just like eat better, move more, do the work, don't jump on crap. So he probably went online and he probably found someone who looks much bigger than me, who is probably a bodybuilder, maybe, who knows, and that has, takes some stuff and can sell him some stuff. And he probably went with that, most likely, because that's what people do when they did it once and they want to do it as fast again. You're an adult, most likely, hopefully. You're an adult. You do what you want. I've worked out for 18 years. I'm here now. Naturally, this is what I can achieve. And this is my limit. I've reached it. Maybe, if I'm lucky, I can gain about a pound or 2 of muscle more in the next 10 years, maybe. But more than likely, I've reached my peak maximum, what my body can achieve on its own naturally. What you can do is much different. If you're just starting, it's much different. But I've done that for so long that obviously if I keep going, naturally my body has a cap. And if the cap is here, I'm probably about here, right? So I might reach it, I might not. It depends on what I do. I still have a decent lifestyle. I'm not completely crazy into my physique, so it's for me, I might never reach it. If I wanted to look like a bodybuilder, I'm 183 pounds as of this morning, 5'11", I'm that short of 5'11". And if I wanted to be 200 pounds of sheer muscle, well, most likely I'm on stuff. Probably. There's a lot of chances. When I was a kid, I was into video games, as I still am. I still play video games. I play Call of Duty. And I used to play games, and from what was the game? Oh yeah, I used to play Age of Empire a lot. Not the first one. I'm that old. And in Age of Empire, you need to take time in order to build your empire and slowly go from like dark ages to like full-on civilization. Takes a lot of time, but cheat code existed. So I went on the internet and I found, the internet, you know, the one that cracked for like 5 minutes and your mom was like, I'm on the phone with your grandma. You're like, Mom, I want to be on the internet. Maybe you don't know that. I do. So I went on the internet, I was looking at cheat codes. It was nice. It's like, oh, how can I cheat? And I remember you just start the game and like you pop up like 5 tanks and you just like start spreading that. And I found it boring very quickly. I was like, okay, now what? My tank just, you know, trashed everything. I've went from nothing to a full-on civilization in 5 minutes. There's no point in it. Coming back to the TRT and stuff. Yesterday I was on Instagram, and I'm not gonna name the name of the two people that I saw. Two massive influencer in fitness, maybe not in health, but in fitness. And the first one is just offering TRT for $100 a month. It's just like, TRT, get your TRT. I haven't done the process of like trying to get a TRT. I hope that there's a full-on process that involves a doctor in there. I doubt it. People are there to make money. So I doubt that this is what's happening. But it's just like, there, spread it out. TRT, have it. So many people now online, 18 years old, 16 years old, 20 years old, in their 20s, like the peak of their testosterone levels, are just like, I'm gonna up on Tren, Anavar, whatever it is. And they get on this, and then they have health issues later on. Sam Sulle, maybe you know who Sam Sulle is. He never said that he's on anything, but come on, dude. Come on, dude. We know. Everyone knows. So now you have kids looking at that. Sam Sulek went from nobody, a kid at school, doing like, I think it was a diver, good looking, decent looking, probably my size, I would bet. And then he goes from that to a massive dude, millions of followers online, millions of dollars. So obviously everyone wants to follow that. Obviously everyone is looking at this like, oh, that's awesome. If I get on this and I start posting and I do a before and after of me like, look at me 2 years ago, look at me now with 55 pounds of muscle more. It took me, again, I'm sorry I say that so often, but it took me 18 years to get 50 pounds of muscle. 18 years. If you do that in 1 or 2, it's not real. Not that it's like bad in terms of you do what you want with your life, but just don't bring anyone who's like vulnerable into this. Again, I'm an adult. I've done that for 18 years. If tomorrow morning I want to do that, I'll tell you. And not only that, but I've reached my physical max, right? So reach your physical max before you do that. But anyway, that influencer was just like spreading like, all right, I'm selling TRT now, $100. I bet, honestly, I don't know him, so I couldn't ask. But I bet that he got flooded with $100 bills for that TRT. That most likely will go to a 20-something that sees a bunch of big, jacked influencers sponsored by the biggest brand making millions of dollars online, and they're like, maybe I can sell a course if I get jacked. And they're gonna do that. And they do it with the cheat code. They went online, they found the cheat code, and they do it with that. And after that, what do you think will happen? They're just like, all right, I've reached it, now what? They're gonna keep going. Because if you stop, as my client did, everything goes to crap. And you have to either live with that, which is very hard, or you go again and you do it again. And your health and everything will be affected by it. The other influencer was a bit different. It was SARMs. It was different. Yeah, it was different types of SARMs. I'm not going to name the SARMs. There's no reason for it. But it was just like, the video was just, it's a girl. The video was just her with the bottle of liquid SARM, right? And she was shaking the bottle, and she had the needle, and she was like popping the needle. And I was like, I got younger. I look younger now. I went like 5 years younger in like the span of whatever, because I inject myself. And then you see her like injecting herself with all of this. I'm like, what is happening? How come no one wants to do it normally anymore? Is it that crazy to think that you can be where you are right now and be happy in a decent physique with a normal lifestyle, or a great physique with a crazy lifestyle? We can do that too. Naturally, won't you be more proud? I think you'd be more proud. I'm more proud. I'm much more proud of having done that naturally. The point is simple. Please do it the way you want to do it. If you want to use a cheat code, do it safely. There are ways to do that safely. And again, if you're 55 and up, 50 and up, your testosterone is crap, you see your doctor, he says TRT it is. You're like, sure, great. That'll be fine. But if you're in your 20s, don't even think about it. If you're in your 30s, eat well, sleep, de-stress, drink water. Start with that. It's gonna lead to some results. Oh, go to the gym, obviously. It's gonna lead to some results. And don't use a cheat code unless you've reached a point of, now I have to for my health. So anyway, that was my point. That was very simple. I don't want that video to be 15 minutes of me just rambling like an old guy, being like, don't do drugs. It's not that. I just want to make you aware of what you can see online, because I saw that online yesterday and it kind of pissed me off in a way. I was just like, I don't see how we can just be online and do that and promote that so easily. And hopefully you'll see the value of doing everything naturally. And when you get to a point where it's important, do that. But for now, do that safely, naturally. Get to a gym. Go do a workout. Drink a bunch of water. You look younger. I promise you that. You know, put some stuff in your face. You know, just like some pomade. Who knows? You'll look younger. Try that. Start with that.